All right, this is Tiffany Thomas here to conduct the interview for Gwen Williams with my shadow, Rowdy Red, supervised by Mrs. K and Dr. Melly Pretty. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to throw up your macros for me. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to start off by reading you the HP rules. Do not resuscitate patients in streets around the hospital, PvP territory zones, or Army base. No attending PvP territory without a rank 7 and above. Do not treat patients with weapons drawn. Do not stand or cell on the main lobby floor. Do not stand on any back block or surrounding hospital areas to chill or take breaks. Ride around in the city or the floor 2 if unoccupied, or the cafeteria instead. Do not go AFK while on duty. The punishment is a 3-day ban, demotion, and funds reset. Do not be disrespectful to patients or colleagues. Punishment is immediate dismissal. No combat fighting whatsoever. Break away and run. If you cannot, /help, RP4. As far as the desk rules, it's a max of 2 staff per desk in rank order: brown, maroon, blue, white, and then green. Up to 3 may line up in the hallway in the same rank order: brown, maroon, blue, white, and then green. For the med restock, if your wait time is over 5 minutes, go on emergency calls or med deliveries. If it's under 5 minutes, wait in the cafeteria, please. For the entry rules, only rank 6 and above can enter through the front door, and from the front parking, only a rank 7 and above. You do not spawn the bus on any day at any time without DCP or CP permission. Radio checks are mandatory. You must respond using the 10-4 copy macro. Do you have any questions so far?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to get into the MD rules. MD1, refusal to provide medical assistance. Refusing to provide medical assistance, including performing CPR or giving meds without a justified RP reason, as long as there is no threat to the medic's life, including situations where armed players are present at the scene. Punishment is 1 reprimand from the faction leadership. MD2, providing medical aid during dangerous situations. Selling medication or resuscitating players in situations that threaten the life and health of both the medic and the player, including but not limited to during an escalating conflict, an active shootout, a turf war, etc. The punishment is 1 warning from the faction leadership. MD3, compliance with project rules. Medical personnel required to comply with all established project rules. The punishment is from 1 warning to 1 reprimand from the faction leadership. MZ4, improper RP behavior. Failure to adhere to RP rules when interacting with players while providing medical assistance or communicating with faction colleagues. The punishment is 1 warning from the faction leadership. MZ 4.1, disrespectful behavior. Disrespectful behavior towards any player. Punishment is 1 reprimand or dismissal at the discretion of faction leadership. MZ 4.2, non-compliance with orders. Failure to comply with leadership orders or to observe the chain of command within the faction. That punishment is 1 reprimand from the faction leadership. MZ 4.3, assault on civilians. Assaulting civilians with a taser, weapon, or fist without an RP reason. This punishment is dismissal from the faction. MZ 5, use of weapons. Medical personnel strictly forbidden from using any weapons. Punishment is dismissal from the faction. MZ 6, criminal activity. Intentionally associating with gangs, committing major crimes, including but not limited to theft, vandalism, murder, or joining factions during activities where medic participation is not intended. The punishment is dismissal from the faction. MD7, use of service vehicles for personal purposes. Using official medical transport for personal travel when not on duty, including for civilian jobs. The punishment is 1 warning from the faction leadership. MD 7.1, use of personal vehicles. Using personal vehicles instead of service vehicles to perform faction duties. The punishment is 1 warning from faction leadership. MD 8, unauthorized issuance of recovery notes. Issuing medical certificates outside of a hospital. Issuing medical certificates for monetary compensation. The punishment is 1 warning from the faction leadership. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, RP rules, RP 13, NRP faction actions. Violating RP conduct within a faction, including the unwarranted release of players from jail. Punishment is dismissal from the faction and or 30 minutes in jail, up to a 3-day account ban. RP 14, sexual harassment. any form of sexual action, including simulation and explicit dialogue or actions, the use of ethnic and or LGBTQIA slurs, stalking other players, or excessive verbal detail and descriptions with sexual undertones. All sexual actions between players must be performed with the prior consent of all participating individuals. Such actions must not take place in public areas or areas frequently visited by the players, including but not limited to jail, hospital, job zones, parking lots, etc. The punishment is 60-minute mute of voice and text chat or an account ban ranging from 24 hours to 30 days. RP 15, provocation of faction members, intentionally provoking members of any faction for entertainment or with the intent to disrupt the faction's operations. The punishment is 30 minutes in jail. RP 16, criminal acts against emergency personnel. Any criminal acts committed against emergency medical personnel. The punishment is from 90 minutes in jail to a 12-hour account ban. If you don't have any questions, we're going to jump into the questions that I have for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. How do you deal with difficult colleagues?
I think I do very
I
well
think
at
I do very
de-escalating
well at
because
de-escalating
I have a lot
because
of patience
I have a lot of
and
patience and
uh, like I'm just pretty
like I'm
easygoing,
just pretty
so I
easygoing,
don't find
so
it that
I don't
difficult.
find it that difficult. Okay. Okay. My second question: if you saw Dr. Melly Pretty outside the hospital and she was shot and she was asking for you to pick her up, what would you do?
Um, Probably
Um,
call a medic.
Probably call a medic.
Try to get some help that
Try to
way,
get some help
but we're
that
not
way,
supposed to
but we're not
resuscitate
supposed to
near the building.
resuscitate near the building. You said you would call the medic?
Like get them to call a
Like
medic.
get them to call the medic. Okay, but you would leave her right there. You don't pick anybody up. My third
Irate
question.
Tiffany in the right.
We
Irate
doing the
Tiffany in the right. Irate
we doing the interview,
Irate
Harriet.
Tiffany in the right.
Not to
Irate
start choking.
We're gonna ignore her. Um, why do you think the chain of command is important?
Mainly so like the
Mainly
higher
so
ups
like
don't
the
get
higher ups don't get
like
like
overstressed or
overstressed
like just
or
get bombarded
like just
with
get
simple
bombarded
questions
with
that can be
simple
answered with
questions
someone
that
just
can
a
be
little
answered
bit
with someone
higher
just
than
a little
us,
bit higher than
and
us.
that way like there's
And that
control.
way like there's control.
Um, and
Um,
like
and
like everyone can kind of
like
help out
everyone can kind
with
of
like
help out
simple
with like
questions and
simple
things like that, and then
questions and
just
things like
helping
that.
like
And then
new
here's
people.
helping like new
Like
people. Like
new people don't need to really
new
be
people don't
talking to
need to really
chiefs
be
about
talking
like,
to
hey, where
chiefs
do I
about
get
like, hey,
meds,
where do
things
I
like
get
that.
meds, things like that. Okay, I kind of understand what you're saying. Um, I agree. All of our roles, we each have a job to do with different job duties and requirements. So they are dealing with things of their own. If need be, that they're always willing to step in, but every rank has responsibilities. So it's important to go through the chain of command instead of just going straight to the top so that everything is in order and it's flowing as it should be. I'm going to pass over the questions to Rowdy Rebel.
My first question
My first
is,
question is
where can you
where
not
can you not
resuscitate patients?
resuscitate patients?
You said where can you not
You said where can you
resuscitate
not
patients?
resuscitate patients?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
I would say
I would say
like obviously,
obviously,
um,
um,
like in the gang houses,
like in
things
the
like
gang
that.
houses, things like that.
If the situation
If
is
the
dangerous,
situation is
because then
dangerous,
obviously like
because
they
then
probably just
obviously
gonna
like
shoot
they
us
probably
too.
just gonna shoot us too.
Um,
Um,
Different situations,
Different
obviously, kind of gotta
situations,
use your
obviously,
better
kind of gotta
judgment
use your better
on when
judgment
and when you
on
can't.
when and when you can't.
Um, Try
Um,
to help somebody
Try to
out,
help
and
somebody
then
out, and
obviously
then
if
obviously if
um, like I
um,
feel like if it's more
like I feel
of
like if it's
a
more
situation,
of a
then you kind
conversation, then you
of
kind
wait it to where it's clear,
of wait it where it's clear,
or you kind of
or
gotta
you kind of gotta
ways.
ways.
Hey, that was a
And that was a
response.
response.
We cannot
We cannot
resuscitate
resist
around if it's
around
behind
if it's behind
any BP.
It's lagging
You
bad.
said I'm lagging.
said, I'm lagging. We all are, I think.
Uh,
Um,
you know,
you know, I,
yeah, okay.
okay.
WP terror
WP terror
on you base.
on you base.
Um,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. No, your next question.
Um, my second question is,
Hello?
you hear me?
I can hear you now.
My question was, does she know the chain of command?
The chain of command.
Miss,
I cannot hear you at all.
can you
Can you try? I can't hear you at all.
hear me now?
Yes.
Um,
I can't hear you at all.
I hear her.
Y'all can hear her?
Yes, I can hear her and
Yes,
I hear
sir.
her.
Okay, keep going. And as long as they can hear you.
okay. So green scrub, white scrub, I think blue scrub. Then there's a maroon, and then that's when they get the jackets with uh white jackets, green pants, blue pants, and then I think that's when it starts changing the shirts to the higher ups. And then I know that the chief has like a white coat and it's on black and black.
Yes, ma'am. Green first, then white, then blue. Then you have your maroons, then your brown scrubs, and then it follows up with the white coats.
Hey, Miss K.
Okay. Miss Ko, Dr. Melly.
Okay, my question to you is, hmm, what are some changes you think you can bring to HP? How can you make HP better?
Justin, can you leave the floor, please?
Um, I'm hoping with me being patient and being able to talk to people that um being able to get people in and out smoothly. And then also I hope as I move up I can help out the newer people learn how to rank up and just be able to um have fun and do what we gotta do to
Justin, can you leave
make
the
everything go smooth.
Okay, okay, that's not a bad answer. Why is patient privacy important?
Realistically, no one wants their, for lack of better terms, no one wants all their stuff out there. So having that, like, hey, like you can come talk to somebody, and you know it's not gonna go ever anywhere, is important. Just so that way, they know like their information is safe.
Right. Yeah, it's important to keep patient's privacy confidential. Um, that's all my questions. Miss K, you have any questions?
Dang, I tried to catch his name. If anybody got the last name, I got the first name. I know it's like Brian, but I can't get the last one. I'm sorry. So the questions I have, do you know your current rank at the moment in time?
I think it's like technically zero.
Okay. So do you know what will be the next rank as far as the number and color?
I believe it would be like one and then white is the
Oh,
whole square.
okay. So if a patient, I don't know if anybody asked this, I apologize, but if a patient refuses service at the front desk, what do you do about that?
Um, Again, I feel like that question it kind of depends on the situation at hand. Um, I think my best option would be if there's someone, you know, maroon or brown. even a Blues Club, to kind of ask them, like, hey, what do you think about this situation? Um, if they think we should try to go about it a different way to see if we can get them help and things, then, maybe they can, put their opinion in there too, where it's not just my opinion, it's someone else's opinion also. But then I think after that, that's when we gotta work together and try to figure out a solution type deal.
Yeah, I definitely love the solution mindset for sure. But in this case, we will if they refuse service at any point in time, you just kindly ignore and you move on to the next patient. I wouldn't even address it. Like if you send them a med kit or some pills and they decline or anything like that, you just want to go ahead and just move along. Okay, if they don't want it, make sure, after a few seconds they do clear, throw your macro up. It's in regarding to like, there's not a chill zone. If you're not sick, hurt, or bleeding, something like that. But yeah, I definitely like that. I think we could kind of implement something like that. Just kind of talking about it because a lot of times we have situations where people I'm like, oh, they're refusing to service. They refuse to service me, and they have it on body cam that they haven't been serviced. But a lot of the time our medics don't have on body cam, and it's just their word. I mean, their footage against our word. But yeah, I feel like that's good. I never ran books, so I don't have any more questions. Good job.
All right. Is that all for the questions, or do you have some, Dr. Silent?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, so that would conclude the interview for Gwen Williams.